What is up? What's poppin'? You know it ain't no stopping. It is your boy, the International Sensei, and welcome to the Entity Dojo podcast, your source for every damn thing. What is up? What is up? What is up? It is Wild Out Wednesday, rocking with the Sensei. Keep it right, keep it tight, and above all, please talk to me nice. And now this man is face down, ass up, really looking bad, very, very sad. Nate Robinson got dropped off, but it's kind of like a lesson of how people are in life. Like it sucks that happened to him, and I'm glad that he's doing okay. I'm glad that he's able to bounce back. But this happens often, like especially in combat sports. I think in combat sports, I wouldn't say it happens the most, but it's the most pronounced when it happens. You know what I mean? Like people love to kick the guy that lost the fight, as opposed to letting him live, because it's like a thing where they had the courage to get in the ring and fight, and now you want to make fun of them because they got dropped. I mean, that's the risk you run with getting in a ring in any sport, whether it's boxing, whether it's jiu-jitsu, taekwondo, karate, whatever it is. Like, you run the risk of getting knocked out. Like, I can even remember, and this is like ridiculous, like, so I used to compete in taekwondo, and I was at some tournament. I was at the U.S. Open, and I just was not feeling it. I did not perform well. Ended up losing to the guy. I didn't get beat up. I might have lost by like 2-3 points. And I mentioned to one of my friends that I lost or whatever, and I come back to school, and they're like, "Oh, ha, you lost to this dude. You got your butt whooped." I'm like, dog. I was like, not a mark on my face. I'm still looking pretty. And they then they were like, oh yeah, but you got whooped because you lost by I'm like, now mind you, this is just a side note. My high school's football, this would be football players telling me this. My school's football team was so bad, they lost like 96-6 in the football game. But that's neither here nor there. So people are just saying all of this stuff, saying all of that, whatever. And it's hilarious because it's like, you've never fought. Now, granted, I keep dropping my damn phone. Okay. This thing's gonna break. Sorry. But back to your scheduled programming. So people that like never fought love to be like the freaking like the dog, like just on the freaking fence, just barking loud. Oh, ha 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 ha. It's just ridiculous to me, because I'm like, you would never get in the ring and do the same thing. And there's like a good majority of people that are making fun of him that have never even been in a fight, whether it was organized or in the street before. And it's like, dude, yeah, okay, look, it's funny that he got knocked out or whatever, but it's like, give it a rest. Like, it's people who are talking about it for 3-4 days down the line. It's a bit ridiculous. You know what I mean? It's a bit ridiculous. Or even just in other combat sports, yeah, stuff happens, knockouts are funny, but it's like, respect the guy for even getting the courage to go in there to put on a show. Now, granted, there are some cases where it's kind of warranted, like the Ben Askren versus George Masvidal thing. Like, that was freaking hilarious. But that was a thing of like, this was a big beef. This was like real static was between these two guys. Ben Askren was a known wrestler, known to dive at your legs. At the beginning of the round, he got baited and got knocked out, put to sleep, sent into orbit, and even that was wasn't as messed with as Nate Robinson's thing. But it is what it is. I mean, I think like at the end of the day, as a fighter, it kind of comes with the territory, so you got to be kind of prepared for that. But it's just jacked up, because like, y'all really do not understand what it's like to go into a ring and actually step across from someone that's trying to cause you physical harm. You got to cause them physical harm, type of thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's a battle of wills. And like, there are some fights that are people getting steamrolled, people getting their butt whipped, and there's some fights that are close, but you just happen to lose. Like, I've been in both. I've gotten my butt kicked a couple times. In that particular instance, that was not the case, but I've got my butt kicked a couple times. I've kicked some ass as well. I've gotten some great knockouts and things like that. But people like are always so quick to bandwagon it up, and I think it's so bad when it's like fighting, because it's like it's a singular sport, and it's a combat sport. Like, it's not like tennis. Like, tennis, I mean, you're like, unless you twist your own ankle or something like that, you're really not in any real like danger overall. Versus like a combat sport, you can really end up getting put to sleep and not waking up for a while, and in some cases, not waking up at all. So it's like you gotta show a little bit of respect to those guys. Like, but again, granted, it was funny. Like, I'm not even gonna sit here and say that it was not funny. Like, it was funny. Like the freaking, what was the one? The Apollo Creed meme. Like, that was funny as all hell. There was some other ones. Like there was some really, really good ones, but I just feel like, look, give the guy some slack. I mean, he's obviously not a fighter. He was coming in there to make some money, to make some headlines or whatever. It did not go his way, but hey, he stepped in there against a game opponent and just got put to shame. But it is what it is, man. I mean, shout out to Nate Robinson. I didn't watch the pay-per-view. I'm not even gonna hold you. I was not a fan of that stuff. Like, that's a big cash grab to me. Like, and for those of you who do not know what a cash grab is, it's basically a fight or just an event. It could be a movie, it could be a fight, it could be a TV show, it could be just like a convention or whatever it is, where a bunch of stars or former stars that people really like come on there. It's just to force you to spend money. That's what that was. And I wasn't gonna pay for that. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I saw the little highlights here and there, and that was about it. And also, shout out to Mike Tyson for doing his thing. Shout out to Roy Jones. But I'm not a fan of that either. Like, old legends fighting, which is why, like, I feel like fighters should get paid more. Especially, I mean, obviously UFC fighters, kickboxers, boxers, like, they should be getting paid more, because you should not be this old and still having to fight. I mean, both of these guys are in their 50s. I'm sorry, that's too old. Like 40, well, no, 40s, no, I wouldn't say 40s too. I would say, like, I would say 42, 43, maybe. Like, you're kind of pushing it. But, like, when you get to 50 and old, like, bro, like, you should be retired. Like, you need to, like, have something in place so you can, like, coach or something. Like seeing guys like that, like, it just bothers me, because, like, it bothers me, but it also makes me glad that I didn't pursue professional fighting as a career, because I never wanted to be that guy. You know what I mean? I never wanted to be that guy, like, way past his prime, still trying to fight to earn money, because that's all I ever knew how to do. And and it sucks. Like, it sucks, and it's hard to watch, because it's like you see old legends. Because I remember, rest in peace, Ali had to do this at one point when he was a little bit older, and he was fighting and getting beaten on, and he was still such a warrior, but he just skill wise wasn't there, because he was a little too past his prime, and you're just seeing him get beat on. Or freaking who else? I'm trying to think of another example. Oh, Randy Couture, like, he kind of, like, was kind of the exception, but even him, like, when he lost, like, it just was not fun watching him get beat on, because he was much, much older, or or whatever, like, or whoever. It's just not fun to see someone past their prime, like in like sports like basketball and football. It's kind of funny to see, like, the older guy, like, try to keep up with the young dudes when they're in their 40s and 45, 46, and they're trying to, like, do all this fancy stuff, and, like, they just can't keep up with the young dudes. It's funny as all hell. But when you have a guy that is 40 years old, like, damn near pushing 50, 45, 46, and you're in a ring with a freaking young savage that's, like, 23, 24, 25, and he's trying to make a living, he's trying to get his name up, and he's coming up there trying to take your freaking head off, and he succeeds, and you're 45, like, that's not a pretty sight. And you don't have many of those to take. Like, the getting punch drunk is, like, for real. Like, I've talked to old boxing coaches that are, like, super duper punch drunk, and it's just, like, it's hard to talk to them, and they talk real slow, and their words are all slurred. You have to, like, hang on every word type of thing. So, like, the fight game isn't pretty, and I think it showed, like, like, with Nate Robinson getting hit like that, being a guy that's never really fought, especially in an organized way, never really trained traditionally. it just shows that how really vicious this game could be, especially if you're ill prepared and you're going in there with, I guess, a misconception on what your real ability is, type of thing. And I think, I mean, I can't say it's better or worse sport to sport, like MMA, boxing, kickboxing. I think it's all about the same. I mean, if you're going in there with someone that doesn't know what they're doing, you can hope the person will take mercy on them, but in most cases, this person is trying to get their name up, so they're just trying to take you out. Like with I'm trying to think who was very fortunate. Like CM Punk was like very fortunate because he ran into a lot of like nice guys. He ran into a lot of people that were like grapplers, and then he ran into one guy that didn't take him serious at all and kind of toyed with him, and ended up getting kicked out of the UFC along with CM Punk. But then you have like the flip side of that, where you have someone like Sage Northcutt, who is a very strong fighter, but he's getting freaking, I think he was in one championship, and he got like mauled by like a freaking kickboxing champion after he got bounced out of the UFC. Like it's just an ugly game, and you have to be built different to be in it, and to be in it for a long period of time, you really have to be a different kind of human being. And not everyone, even with people with high levels of martial arts and martial skill, can do it, let alone someone that played basketball or someone that played football. And obviously I think it was a Greg Hardy that's in the UFC now, like he's doing well, but not everyone's going to be able to do that. And it's a vicious game. Like if you don't know what you're getting into, you could really set yourself up to get hurt. Even if you do know what you're getting into, you could really set yourself up to get hurt. And the fight game is a ugly, ugly thing, man. But all I want to say is, look, if that's something that you want to pursue, definitely pursue it. Nate Robinson, get well. Do not box no more. Congrats to Jake Paul. Congrats to Mike Tyson and Roy Jones. I hope this made y'all enough money to where y'all don't have to do this crap no more. Like, seriously, I don't want to see, like, in a couple years, like a 60-year-old Mike Tyson still trying to fight, and he's like, he's freaking like feeling his oats, and now he's getting in there with a young dude and gets like sent in the freaking orbit. I mean, like, I think like Hopkins, if I think Hopkins is still fighting, he's like the exception to the rule, but there's always some exceptions to the rule. But no, like, just know when your time is up, especially in the fight game, and bow out gracefully. But I got to give all respect where respect is due. Wonderful careers for both of those gentlemen, Mike Tyson and Roy Jones, respectively. God, I hope that it does not happen again. Nate Robinson, get well again. And all my people that ever made fun of someone for getting knocked out, if you've never been in a fight, you need to shut the hell up. Like, this is real talk. Like, if you've never been in an actual fight where you were like in real danger, I don't mean like no little ticky-tack, little pushing contest that they do now, and then somebody pulls out a freaking gun. No. I mean like an actual fight where you guys are throwing punches, you're throwing kicks, someone's trying to slam you on your head. You don't need to be making fun of guys like Nate Robinson. Like, yeah, obviously, okay, it's a little funny. Yeah, it is, but all right, laugh at it for a day or two and then keep it pushing. Like, it should not be this, like, massive media storm that it is. But that's how the world works. I mean, one thing gets clipped, and then like everyone takes a picture, and then it becomes a meme, and now it becomes this whole thing. That's the culture we live in. But hey, you win some, you lose some. But again, stay humble, stay hungry, and stay away from the fight game. I would say, if you can help it. If you need to go into the fight game, go for it. But again, it's a very ugly monster. Anyways, with that being said, I am the International Sensei. This is the Entity Dojo podcast. Please follow me on Twitter at Sensei_Global21, International_Sensei on Instagram. What the hell is it? What platforms am I on? I just forgot the platforms I'm on. Okay. SoundCloud, iTunes, Stitcher, Spreaker, Spotify, and YouTube and all that other stuff. Thank you so much, and we must now exit the dojo. Us.